Kissing and somatosensory experience of space in D.H. Lawrence. I saw the midlands revolve through her hair, the fields of autumn stretching bare, and sheep on the pasture tossed back in a scare. And still as ever the world went round, my mouth on her pulsing neck was found. I came across this poem by Lawrence while researching for my PhD on the modernist kiss, which works at the intersection of haptic studies and literary criticism. After reading Kisses in the Train, I noticed that at crucial points elsewhere in his work, Lawrence pays careful attention to the position of the kissing body in space in one of its most modern iterations, when it hurtles at speed. Today, I show examples from The Rainbow and Women in Love, which each contain kisses in motorcars. I'm using these texts to approach the question of how Lawrencean kisses can inform our understanding of how space was experienced and thought about in the modernist period. It's impossible not to see something quasi-futurist in Lawrence's embodied representations of travelling at high speed, but Lawrence was also writing amid a backdrop of neurophysiological publications that remodeled somatosensory experience of space. Notably, in 1906, Charles Sherrington coined the term proprioception, broadly meaning the body's sense of its position in space, and often colloquially termed body awareness. Lawrence did not share in the scientific enthusiasm for these wretched treatments of the human body, but he did share in the growing interest in the body's everyday experiences of perceiving and navigating spatial contexts. In The Rainbow, Ursula Brangwen and Anton Skrebensky's relationship quite literally goes through the motions. The car swerved round a corner and Ursula was swung against Skrebensky. The contact made her aware of him. And suddenly she stooped and kissed his hand, bent her head and caught it to her mouth. Interpersonal tactility somewhat regulates this confounding and exhilarating experience of speed. In Women in Love, Lawrence again seems interested in the embodied passenger, not least when Gerald and the Pussum ride a taxi through London and grasp hands. Later, we reach another kiss between Ursula and Rupert in a motorcar. Lawrence depicts her clutching him violently against her as he steered the motorcar, kissing him as he turned to her. He drove on in a strange new wakefulness, the tension of his consciousness broken. He seemed to be conscious all over, all his body awake with a simple glimmering awareness. Here it is Rupert whose body awareness, or proprioceptive sense, is invigorated by the kiss in the car. I note too that the kiss on wheels is not without its predecessors, in the work of Tolstoy, Thackeray, and in Hardy's Tess of the D'Urbervilles, with which Lawrence was of course intimately familiar. Lawrence then is part of a lineage of writers using the kiss to grasp the phenomenon of speed, and he is arguably an overlooked pioneer of automobilic writing, perhaps because of his reputation for being technophobic, or perhaps because his representations of kissing have not before been properly distinguished from his sexual writings. I hope that I have given you some idea of why I'm using Lawrence's writings to consider the modernist body's perception of space as its position changes at rates more rapid than ever before. Thank you for listening.